Let's make a bracelet. No soldering required. Look at how cute and lovely this is. You can layer it, wear it by itself. Let's get going. You're gonna need some 18 gauge wire. You'll need a hammer and a bench block to texture. You will need the medium and large mandrel pliers, and of course some chain nose to help you with your wraps. So let's get started. We're gonna take our 18 gauge wire. We're gonna wrap around the larger jaw of these pliers. So we're coming around and we just need enough to wrap 2 times. So we're gonna rest that against that larger jaw and go around once, twice, and if you need to, you can use your chain nose to pull that around. And then we're gonna trim off our extra. So you're gonna need some flush cutters, of course. All right, so that's the back side of my link. Now we're gonna take the medium mandrels and we are gonna bend around that smaller side. So we might wanna crick this neck up a little. All I did was, this was straight out and I cricked it up towards the larger one so that I can come around the smaller side until I meet that wire. So it looks like that. I'm going to trim off my extra. Always put the flush side towards your piece. And then I can open and close this part right here. It looks like I did not trim this one quite as close as I should. There we go. And then I can open and close this one. Now, we want to pattern this. We want to put some texture on it. So we're gonna lay it on our little bench block. So see how my 2 loops are going opposite directions now. We're going to just put this on our bench blocks and get some texture. Now, if you don't like holding these with your hand, if you're afraid you're going to hammer your hand, you can get a grip with your pliers. Put them in there, hold it off the edge. That's just a little trick I like to work with. So there's one link. Let's make another one. I am using 18 gauge parawire. The bracelet here I have on is made with sterling silver, but parawire will work just fine. So 18 gauge. We're going to do the same thing again. Wrap around. Make sure to leave yourself enough that you can wrap around 2 times against that jaw. If you need to bring this out straight, you can. We've got our 2 wraps. We're going to slide that off. Trim off our extra. Then we're going to take these medium pliers. We're going to go around the smaller jaw. Again, I might want to just move that up a little bit because I'm going to be coming back and around until I meet that. Slide that out and give a flush cut against your piece. And then look at this. We can open and shut that, but what we're going to do first is actually texture it. Now, fun part, we get to join 2 links. So I'm going to twist this open. I'm going to give it a grip, slide it open. Now, if I want these to the textured side, you want to make sure both of your textured sides are facing up. So make sure that is correct, and then you can close that up. And look at there. Now, let me show you something fun with this bracelet. You can actually, your clasp can be built into the bracelet. Look at how fun that is. So let's do that. Let's do that part. I'm going to let you continue to make your links, but let me show you how to make that clasp. So I'm going to get some 18 gauge wire and do the same thing I was doing. So we start with our wrap. We want to make sure we have enough to wrap around 2 times. And sometimes if you want this tighter, you can twist against those pliers. It makes a tighter circle if you're having trouble getting right next to it. Cut off our extra. Now this time, so you see we have the beginning of it. This time, we're going to continue this to be our clasp, the hook eye. So you're going to take these medium round mandrels, and this time, instead of bending back around the smaller jaw, we want to bend forward around that larger jaw. So I'm bending forward. See how that's starting to resemble this one? And all I want to do now is where I want that smaller loop in the middle there, I can open this up a little bit and I can make my smaller loop around that smaller side. I'm going to come around, make that loop. If this is too long, I'm going to trim off a little the extra so that I can really finish out that loop good. It was getting too long for me to make a nice centered loop, so I'm going to put that back in there. And then I'm going to take my chain nose because that's going to allow me to get in there and really finish that loop off nice into a circular shape. Put my flush cutters against my finished piece so that I get a nice flat cut. And then looky there, you just wiggle that shut. Now, I am going to want to pattern this one as well. So I'm just going to look. I'm going to take this and twist it over to the side, okay? And then that will allow me to get in here. And then I can twist it back to the middle if I need to get this side. And even over to the side. There we go. Now, I'm just going to push that down. I can hold these in my pliers again if I need to. Push it down to the middle. And look, I can now open this link. Slide that one into there. And now you've got your clasp, just like on this one. So you get the idea. You can just keep going and going. And then when you're done, you wrap it around, slide it in there. Voila! Enjoy!